Fredmore stood tall on the frozen plain. With his Millards they felt no pain. Enemies lurked in shadows deep. Darkside's grip sought souls to keep. Blades of steel met in the midnight frost. Fredmore's courage came at no cost. He rallied his friends with a fearsome roar to fight the shadows evermore. We charge the dark with hearts ablaze. In valiant acts our legends raise. Fredmore leads with a guiding light through storm and fear into the night. Glare our banners flew. Fredmore's might split the dark in two. Enemies fell beneath our tide. With honor and pride we did abide. When dawn broke on that fateful day, Fredmore's name whispered in the sway of the northern winds that carried tales of heroic deeds through ancient trails. In halls of victory songs were sung, of battles won and praises rung. Fredmore's spirit strong and grand will forever guard this steadfast land. We charge the dark with hearts ablaze. In valiant acts our legends raise. Fredmore leads with a guiding light through storm and fear into the night. We charge the dark with hearts ablaze. In valiant acts our legends raise. Fredmore leads with a guiding light through storm and fear into the night. We'll forever guard this steadfast
Dobry wieczór, witam wszystkich na kanale Freedmore Play i zapraszam na chyba ostatni odcinek z Avowed. To już ostatnia prosta, powiedzmy. Dobra, pogadajmy z nimi szybko. A tu ciemno się zrobiło? Ogólnie jakiś update był.
And where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious?
A dobry wieczór, Rafale, i witam Marzenkę też. Pozdrawiam. O, tutaj tak pozdrawiamy. Dobra to. Dlaczego jestem taka niespokojna? Czułaś się zagubiona po szmaragdowych tarasach, a to miejsce daje ci nadzieję.
You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore.
No, słyszałem, widziałem.
When Manto Pastor sent me to the heart of an Adragan?
Dobry dzień, Anita. O, widzę, że masz ten. No tak, zapomniałem. Możesz... Masz... No to jest chyba już koniec będę miał dzisiaj. Zależy jak pocisnę długo. Powinno gdzieś tak 2,5 godzinki.
That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it.
Co dalej? No, o północy ogólnie wychodzi Monster Hunter. Zobaczymy. Może tą grę ogram. Też trochę napaliłem na to. No, łowca potworów. No. Nie mam zbyt wiele czasu na podjęcie decyzji.
And only one chance to get it right. My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. What's going to happen?
Co to jest za
You've
rodzaj
had my
gry?
back since the beginning.
Nie wiem, będę
Forget it.
pierwszy raz ogólnie ogrywał ten tytuł, bo tam było parę części już tego, ale to podobno najlepiej teraz grać w tą najnowszą. Bo tam nie ma takiej fabuły, gdzie ona jest połączona teoretycznie z tą najnowszą. Ogólnie tam chyba o to chodzi, tak zgaduję, co nie, że świat jest opanowany przez potwory i żeby utrzymać porządek, czy jakąś równowagę, są od tego łowcy, tą gildię porobione łowców właśnie tych potworów. I no ja będę jednym z nich, co nie, więc będę musiał polować na potwory. Zresztą wpisz sobie Monster Hunter. Wild chyba tak to się. Dlaczego? Bo Rafał wykupił dla 5 wspierających. 5 wspierającym daje ten. Znaczy ogólnie wykupił wspieranie na miesiąc dla randomowych osób i akurat padło na ciebie. Udało ci się wylosować. To, co ja wtedy wylosowałem w ciągu miesiąca, na miesiąc, to tobie się udało teraz u Rafała wylosować. Znaczy, cię komputer wybrał. Tak, Rafałowi możesz podziękować. I moderatorem to nie wiem, Anita nawet nie wie, jak tym się obsługiwać. Po co to w ogóle jest? Znasz jakieś historie o ogrodzie?
Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Siema, Crusadera. Nie, łatwo mnie przestraszy. Nie, dziękuję. No, to przerażająco.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city.
Modulatora może. Pączki pojedzone. Znajomy z pracy też przyniósł pączki. Tutaj Agnieszka też zrobiła parę, powiedzmy to nie pączki, tylko takie no, ala pączki. Takie pierścieniowate. No. Już nie łowcy, posłuchajmy.
A ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair.
Oponkę to później będę miał.
To a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Messivernal, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his
10 kilo przybyło. Zła historia działa.
It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it.
Ja też próbowałem przebić 80 kilo, ale jakoś nie mogę, nie wiem. Jakaś ta przemiana dziwna, co? Obiecywali, że po 30-40 latach, to po 40 to zacznie się, kurde, stracisz ten, jakby powiedzieć to, tą umiejętność, ten dar. Mogę wysłać kolejnych, rozmawiamy o czymś innym.
Who could rest at a time like this? Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
Gods no.
1,82 m.
Got everything we need. The crackling campfire. I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like
Meta człowiekiem jestem.
You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep.
Meta human.
Left it standing. Why?
Możesz pomóc Krystynie nie zniszczyć twierdzy, ale oszczędziłeś ją. Dlaczego? Strażnicy powinni sami zdecydować, czy odejść, czy nie.
I agree. A decision like this belongs to the community, not the ambitions of one man. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Fate doesn't ask us what we want. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage
O, przy 170 z 92 kg, no to już widać.
I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting.
Na 3 kg w miesiąc. Ja ani ta tyle na posiedzeniu. Ten. Chudne, wiesz? A. Dobra, coś jeszcze chcę powiedzieć? YouTube. Dobra, jeszcze coś chcesz powiedzieć?
Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement?
Co powiedział? Kiedyś jakieś rady, jakieś słowa zachęty? Kazał mi zabić co pada.
Oh. I take it that wasn't what you expected. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands.
Dobra, a jeśli Sepala jest tak okropny, jak mówi Nadru? Nie jest, dopóki moja dusza jest związana z tą szaloną boską bestią.
What happened to Nandru was ages ago. Plenty of time to reconsider one's choices. No one is closer to Sapodal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts.
Zaczynam się bać Sepala. Sepala też cierpiał. Nie mogę go winić za to, że zachowuje się irracjonalnie.
A caged animal lashes out at friend and foe alike. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Zapraszam, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands.
No dobra, to chyba już jeszcze?
Solace has a few old-fashioned ideas about animancy, to put it lightly. Thank you for letting Petru go free. Animancy is not a crime, but many feel entitled to treat it as one.
No, Monster Huntera będę grał. To ja źle wyglądam? No, zarys boilera jest, nie? Tam na zimę jest zarys. Albo zimowy zarys, nie? On po prostu starał się pomóc swojemu ludowi. Mam nadzieję, że udowodni przeciwnikom, że się mylił.
As do I. Whether or not Petru is successful as an
Ogólnie ten Monster Hunter dzisiaj o północy wychodzi.
and it's good to know
Już
someone.
oglądałem u takiego z PlayStation gościa. Nie wiem, ty go pewnie też kojarzysz. Polaka. On dla PlayStation chyba pracuje w ogóle. Ja byłem normalnie Paciko. Patyciko. Jak on ma? Poczekaj. Wiem, że to jest z PlayStation. Pewnie jakbym wpisał Monster Hunter czy coś takiego. Historia. O. Historia. PlayStation Polska. O. I tam jest taki łepek. Znaczy taki gostek, który ten o PlayStation właśnie mówi. On jest tam reprezentantem może. Dobrze jest wiedzieć, że ktoś broni jego spraw. Porozmawiamy. Dobra, teraz może ok? No.
Going diving into ancient ruins doesn't make much sense.
No, coś.
You're going into some of the most deadly places in the lands.
Dobra, tu jeszcze będę spał pewnie. To fantazy? No, jak wpiszesz, tam masz kota w ogóle swojego. Chyba Darkness. Katowicza. Klasowicze. Open the door. Dobra. To co? To idziemy. Aha, to jest ta mapka właśnie. Ta nowa. Która do odkrycia jest. What the... Ja mam po tym skoczyć? To kurianie. Poprawili trochę te zwierzaki. One inaczej trochę biegną już. Gdzie on jest? A nie, jeszcze nadal ma 30 klatek. Ogólnie to wiesz, możemy nie oglądać, albo po prostu włączać się, dawać łapkę i dalej lecieć. To, że tam będziemy się oglądać, to też tak czy owak pewnie i tak umiejętności będą ważne, co nie? Ale spoko. Ja tam nie mam nic przeciwko. Aha, tam nie można chyba.
Gods, this is the place.
I think we found Zapraszam's home.
Jesteśmy... O ty kurde. grający od 4 miesięcy milordek. Ale przestraszył normalnie. Długa ta gra ogólnie. Znaczy długa, no. To kurde, niedźwiadek. Kubuś Pułatek. Dobry.
Right, what's it, Tane? I feel like it's on.
What? Peter nie będzie miał mikrofonu. Co, my też bez mikrofonu mamy grać? O! Krzyżowałem już? Jak go krzyżowałem już?
That was fun.
Co to znaczy ukrzyżowałem już? Ogólnie tutaj z YouTube'em jest tak, że tych pieniędzy nie dostajesz od razu, to dostajesz po miesiącu chyba, wiesz? A, nie wiedziałem, że takie coś jest. Nie no, każdy. Ja... Jeszcze to powinno być, że punkty odejmuje się za przeklinanie.
On your left.
On my left? Można by było kiedyś zrobić po prostu takie... coś a la... że pomiędzy bossami zgony powiedzmy nie będą liczyć, a na bossach potem trzeba będzie dodawać, ale to też by było bez sensu. Dobra, tu już nie będę. Myślę, że Korkus powinien mieć taką chustę, gdzie będzie on przygryzał jak ten. Jak będzie chciał przeklnąć. To by było dobre. Ale Nita sobie zobacz ten Monster Hunter, jak to wygląda.
Right. How did I know I'd be jumping into a giant pool of water today? Free to you.
O, albo tak, no. Mhm. Patrz, nie mogę ten. Pod wodą, no tak, nie można rzucić. Może być fajne, może nie być fajne, tak. To ogólnie może być gra, która mnie nie wciągnie, a może być znowu na odwrót. O kurde, tutaj zaczną. Wszyscy chcą gadać, teraz tych dwóch chcę gadać, kurde.
When you find Sapadol, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place.
Jest coś pięknego.
And you've got to enjoy it where you can find it.
Co Steven?
As divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse.
Mhm. No tylko my musimy przeczytać ten regulamin, zanim się zgodzimy.
And Sapodal definitely isn't docile. Not from what we saw on Mount Forja, or outside the ruins of Nakukubel.
Zapadal i ja rozmawiamy o współczuciu i przebaczeniu. Wiesz, że może zmienić się na lepsze.
I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right.
Palenia chyba głupa. Even mi tak chyba z 2 godzinki zostało, co? 2,5. Coś takiego. Zależy jak będę to eksplorował jeszcze, co nie? Mówiliśmy, że nie jesteś za tym, by dać Zapadalowi drugą szansę.
You know, if Sapodal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess.
Albo gra będzie wychodzić, Kazan, w marcu.
This place.
I w marcu i to będzie Souls-like. I on będzie po prostu no, nowością, której będą pierwszy skończy minus 50 zgonów? Może lepiej, tak? Nie, to by było bez sensu. Po co jeszcze dołować tych, którzy będą w tyle? Ja i tak wiem, że przegram. No, próbuję tu regulamin wymyślić, bo Rafał będzie sponsorem wygraną przekazać osobie, która pierwsza ukończy, znaczy może nie pierwsza ukończy. Osoba, która ukończy z najmniejszą ilością zgonów. Ta wygra 100 funtów, pisałeś? Czy 100 euro? Czy jak to było? Jakąś 100. 100 batów. O, to są te tajlandzka waluta. Ale czy jeszcze mniej zazdroszczę i ci bałaganu, który powstanie?
While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals.
No właśnie. Teraz tropimy twojego. Właśnie ma czas, by zastanawiać się na... Właśnie tak.
You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steelga Road, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelguard
No, bo z wyścigiem to już w ogóle by było Chodzi o to, żeby grać rozważnie, a nie szybko. Ja pewnie utknę na jakimś bossie parę dobrych godzin i ja będę tyle do tyłu, że wszyscy to już bym był na przegranej pozycji. Rozumiem, co można myśleć.
Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. It doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. Try explaining that to people. They won't believe it. Not when they're already convinced there's an invasion on their doorstep. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a steel garrote force just happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here.
Ej, nie wiem, mieszaj go do tego napięcie. To znaczy... A wszyscy są dobrze uzbrojeni i co?
If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy.
Zobaczymy. No, u mnie będzie licznik zgonów. Ciekawe jak tam... Ciekawe... Fajnie by było jakby w tej grze zrobili właśnie ten... Tak jak było... W czym to? W tym, w Niochu, co nie? Ilość zgonów pokazana normalnie. Że nie trzeba było sobie liczyć, po prostu wchodziło się w opcjach tam i ten pokazywało całe statystyki. To moje ojczyzna nie może oczekiwać, że odwrócę się od swoich.
I don't. And for what it's worth, I wouldn't blame you for choosing that. Finding kin and country folk is a hard thing to ask of anyone. It's part of why I came out here. I lost my stomach for Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire, but I wasn't gonna turn insurgent against my own people either. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face.
Można.
Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this.
Będę walczył u twojego boku, będę z tobą do samego końca.
Anytime.
Dobranoc.
Good night, envoy.
Envoy? I've seen Mount Forgia erupt before, but never like that.
Ciekawe ile godzin zajmie ten.
Angry. Like it was screaming in pain. I don't know what really happened, but
Jak chcesz Anita zobaczyć, to będzie Kazan. Ta gierka się nazywała. Jak możecie chłopaki, to napiszcie Anicie tytuł dokładny. To będzie The First Berserker, czy jakoś tak? Panel zbyt gwałtownie zareagował na obecność Ludwin.
blessed gods. Is it too much to ask to just let us live our lives for a while? It's like they have nothing better to do. Anyway.
Chętnie poznam twoją opinię o naszym... Dobra.
Not before I've done some reading.
Jeszcze, kurde.
Envoy?
Wysłanniku.
Different after dealing with Razvan.
O, dzięki, Steven.
Somehow more at peace. There was this threat I didn't even know I was afraid of, and now it's gone. So why doesn't it all feel better now?
Istniało zagrożenie, ale nawet nie wiedziałem, że się go boję. A teraz go nie ma. Dlaczego więc teraz nie czuję się lepiej? Zawana już nie może się skrzydł.
I know. I'm not sure he ever could. But he was always there in my thoughts whether I knew it or not. Oh, been dealing with this all my life. Someone starts acting strange, then clearly something terrible's about to happen. My people were in a cult. They believed what Razvan said. They died because he asked them to. But he wasn't behind every corner. He was stuck in a cave, babbling in mushrooms.
Martwienie się jakąś sytuacją nigdy jej nie poprawi.
Not for lack of trying, right?
Kurde, takie psychologiczne zagrania, wiecie.
Done to help me. I won't forget it. Thank you for finding that amulet. It's such a small thing, but it helps.
Cieszę się, że to mówisz.
Brings back memories. good ones. There was a sense of purpose, I think. They all left Solace for a reason. They trusted Razvan. People began to act strange. My parents weren't around as much.
Jak sporo. 3 osoby.
Paying all their attention to Razvan. We all know what happened next.
Chyba 3 osoby, tak, Rafale? Bo ja nie wiem, tam napisałeś, że Fredziu, Korkus i Piotr, pan i moderator Stevena. To 5 osób, czy jak to jest? Ogólnie Piotr jest moderatorem, tak? O to chodziło bardziej. O, 3 osoby dokładnie. W jaki sposób może ci to pomóc? Wszyscy wiemy, co się potem stało.
It was Razvan. He built up their trust and betrayed it all at once. I just wanted to thank you, Envoy. That's all. Anyway,
U Bigosa to jeszcze nerwy by puściły w ogóle by. Możesz się zapytać. Ciekawie by było. Chętnie poznam twoją opinię o naszym towarzyszu. Znaczy na razie odpocznę.
you too.
No, mam nadzieję, że już w końcu. Jeszcze? Kurde, oni są...
Boy, blacked out at that Audra and the lava tubes beneath Solace, but it seemed different somehow.
Prawdę mówiąc, to rozmawiałem z duchem Nundru.
I actually believe you. This is madness, Envoy. You spoke to the founder of Solace.
Zaszczytem było w końcu poznać kogoś innego, kto byłby boskim spada.
Bet it was. You could finally complain to someone about all the face stuff. People in Solace always claim they're speaking the word of Nandru. And here you are, actually hearing from the man. Doesn't even really matter what he said.
Bigos pewnie dzisiaj będzie ogrywał już, czy jutro
You'd give anything
tego,
to hear Nandru's
bo on jest mega napalony na ten.
Let's stay impressive is what that is. Envoy, what do you need?
A co będzie, jak ja przegram? Bo ja coś czuję, że to ja będę. A ty to na PlayStation bierzesz, Steven?
If I must.
Znowu? Patrz.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. We already talked about time. Did you want to know about
To ja odpadam. Rezygnuję z udziału.
Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the Vrikas, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Pleasant dreams.
Well, you must have some good stories, right?
And,
No właśnie wiem. Ejejej. No mogę kanał zamknąć, już mnie nie będzie na tym.
A breath held, trepidation. You are close, yet distant still.
Powinno wam wystarczyć, że mnie widzicie. Musiałem odpocząć, to miejsce jest wyczerpujące w sposób, którego nie potrafię opisać. Przerwa w bitwie, a błogosławieństwo nie.
has many faces. Different songs for different days. We know your light. We seek what swims inside you as you wane. We wonder. We did not foresee this.
Jak to, o co chodzi? Poczekaj, bo to... Ben ma rację. Ja otworzę swój. Tynka ma i wymiata, nie Fredziu? No. No jest Tynka wymiata, ona kurde tak do przodu idzie szybko, że masakra. Pozytywna, co nie? Będzie się nazywał Redmora. Jesteś młodsza. No dokładnie. Nie, przewzięliśmy tego z zaskoczenia. Nadal jesteś mi winien odpowiedzi.
A debt of knowledge. We concede.
Co byś zrobił, gdybyś nie był uwięziony?
The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine.
No śmiesznie.
Run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands.
Tak, ja się urodziłem z brodą. W ogóle jak się rodziłem, to mnie nie za głowę, tylko za brodę złapali, żeby wyciągnąć z łona matki.
We did once. New sweet peas bloom in the grove. We were trying. Vengeance denied. Squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of growth. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Dobra, mamy grzybek. Zobaczmy, jak ta mapa w ogóle tutaj. Niby to tutaj tylko wystarczy dojść. Nie wiem, jak ta mapa jest rozbudowana. Czy tam są jeszcze jakieś mniejsze, malutkie, nie wiadomo co. Jakieś łańcuchy. Tu mogę przejść jeszcze. Ło. Tam pewnie nie będę mógł przejść, czy jak to będzie? Bo to chcę zobaczyć, jakie mam wyjście, żeby nie było, że... Nie, mogę jednak. Za. No ładnie.
The disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
Nie, stali z zew. Znamy ten głos. Dlaczego ona tu jest? Ty w ogrodzie?
Everywhere my tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with?
A w ogóle Steven się pytałem, na PlayStation będziesz miał tą wersję tego? Czy na PC-ta? Bo nie wiem, czy odpowiedziałeś. Tego, no, Monster Huntera. Czy potrafisz chociaż trochę pojąć siłę, którymi manipulujesz? Wiem tylko, że potrzebuję pomocy.
Hell? It has forged the iron of its own restraints. Do you think you're special with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can have dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. Who else would have the strength?
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained.
Wybierał się. Federa.
Work that sullies one hand meets out justice with the next. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. A regrettable consequence of a necessary war.
Nie wiem, o co je chodzi. Kółko i krzyż obmanowałem. Można.
History followed the course of law because I ensured it.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying.
Siema programista po godzinach.
It understands.
Chyba koniec. Żebyś...
But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed.
Jaką krechę mam?
Face your false god and end its reign.
Dobra, dobra, pośladki bulmy. Każdy chciał malować. Pośladki bulmy, no. Chyba koniec? No chyba, bo to jest ostatnia mapka, wiesz? Taka już do... Tylko będzie zależeć to, jak ja zakończę tą historię. Wiem, że na pewno Steven poszedł w to, żeby zabić tego Boga, którego ja tutaj bronię, a ja pójdę w tą drugą stronę, ja obronię tego Boga. Więc zobaczymy, jakie zakończenie będzie. Będą dwa różne, co nie? Nie mogę... Zmierz się ze swoim fałszywym Bogiem i zakończ jego rządy terroru na zawsze. Jak? Nie mogę zabić Boga. Wyjdź z ogrodu, teraz nie będę ci pomagać.
Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to your will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
O, kurde, będzie walka. Dawaj.
I have nothing to say. That was insane.
To,
Never thought I'd learn of the godless's fate from their killer.
no, to jest moja. Ja pierwszy. Co to za przesłuchanie? Ale normalnie wyciszenie będzie. No tutaj coś jest. O kurde. Klucz do sarkofagu. Ciekawe, skąd ja to wezmę teraz. O, ale fuks. O co tam chodzi znowu? Tam coś.
It isn't good enough, is it?
taka zmiana. Jak co to za pistolet? Kurde. Dobra, idziemy dalej. Widzę, że się streamek rozkręcił, tylko że nie pode mnie, tylko bardziej o mnie. Brodę to ja dopiero tutaj zapuściłem, w Irlandii. To było tak bardziej okres właśnie covidowski.
Well, that is...
O. Zwiększa szansa na zadanie trafienia krytycznego 1%. Trafienie krytyczne mają 15% na szans na unieruchomienie wroga w miejscu. Co ja mam teraz za ten? Karawaszy. Większa szybkość przeładowania o 15%. Przeładowanie to jest lepsze, co nie? Nie wiem, o co chodzi. No już przestaję mówić. Muszę się skupić na grze. Ej, tu coś jest. A, właśnie. Muszę to wziąć. No co to jest? A, interaction.
No. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you. Bundled
Aha.
and crying, while our parents died.
Viate,
O,
you're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here.
Odej mi 20 lat.
What I am now is much better than what I was becoming then.
Widzę, że to będzie niezapomniany streamek.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
I have as much closure as I'm going to get. I am part of this land's god now. A dream of the land.
Nie. Ale widziałem, że ten film wychodzi. Nie wiem, czy oglądaliście kiedyś bajki właśnie Daimos.
Sapadal wants to understand.
Teraz tyle filmików ogólnie jest na temat tego, że właśnie film powstaje Daimos.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan.
To było kiedyś też oglądane. Na Polonii 1 chyba.
Then maybe it was I who needed
Polonia 1 albo RTL 7, coś
a
takiego.
clear mind.
Tam zawsze leciały takie
When we were children,
bajki.
you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
Wiem i nie jestem pewien, czy kiedykolwiek zmarzę swoje winy. Chyba nie potrafię. Nie byłeś odpowiedzialny za je, Marysie. Sam musiał odnaleźć sens. Uda ci się, jeśli przez resztę życia będziesz żyć jego pełnią.
It was a burden I wasn't ready to carry. I went out on patrol nearly every rotation, looking for Razvan or death, or ideally, both. Don't be like me, Marius. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
No jasne, że pana Kleksana oglądałem jej muminki.
What? Worse than Yonku's tragic death?
I can't say I loved that part most.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it.
Zatem to koniec rozmowy.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Oh, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Będzie coś do wzięcia, czy nie? Chyba nie.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
Dobra, to tamtędy.
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
And saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
O ty kurde. Nie mogą. Im mniej żyjesz, im mniej wiesz, tym dłużej żyjesz, co nie? Ale to jest kurde mega broń. Żebym takie coś pamiętał, to... Jaka to spluwa to jak jest ten railgun.
We need to find your god fast.
Mhm. Sobie sama zmieniałem. Tak. Będzie to sama. No. Nie wiem. Powiem szczerze, że nie mam pojęcia. No bo pamięć już szwankuje. Ja miałem swój świat.
If anything moves, I'm going to jump straight up and start running.
O kurde, ten. Ja mu 2000 zadaję obrażeń. Prawie. Nie mogę albo nie chcę. Siedem tysięcy. Wow. Nice.
I think I sprained my shoulder.
No trzymaj się, Anita. Dzięki, że wpadłaś. I namąciłaś tutaj chłopakom. Teraz nie będą mogli spać normalnie. Może tam mogę wejść, ale mogę też tędy iść chyba, tak? Jak to jest? Im mniej wiedzą, tym lepiej dla nich.
Isn't that Tama's cairn? Oh dear.
Nie można wszystkiego od razu odkrywać, co nie?
This room. It looks just like Thomas.
Mhm. Zaraz jego ten.
Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together.
O,
What is this, envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep changing.
a kiedyś miałem w ogóle długie włosy, to wiecie.
I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense?
Film będzie usunięty. Więc... Albo bez czatu. Czat będzie usunięty. O, tak będzie najlepiej. Niektóre gady zmieniają swoje kolory w zależności od tego, co ich obserwatorzy spodziewają się zobaczyć.
That's the problem. I don't know what I expect anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger.
Wiem, że to ciężko w ogóle sobie wyobrazić, ale tak.
Yeah, it is. All this time
Yeah.
I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that.
I ty też.
You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden.
Wywracałem niewiasty.
I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. Now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both.
Dobrze, że ani to nie ma Discorda.
Me too. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge.
Super. Dobrze, że nie go.
What do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Let's do this. No dobra. Disappear. Dobra. Włócznia. Włócznia. O kurde. Dziecko pokazane. No, powiem szczerze tak. Muza ciężka. Byłem raz na tym, na Metalmanii w ogóle. Się przyznam, szczerze. Really. Mamy jakąś super włócznię. Nie. O kurde, to były kiedyś czasy. Ale byłem na Metalmanii i tam było, poczekaj, pamiętam ten Apokaliptyka. Nie wiem, czy słyszeliście. Ale dostał. Dobra, spokojnie, to. Slayer, o, to też jest dobry. Ale to było Apokaliptyka i takie z cięższych to było Field. Nie wiem, czy to dobrze wymawiam teraz, ale tak zwane kredki. A to były takie już bardziej mroczne czasy. Apokaliptyka jest super. Oni tam nie śpiewają, tam jest po prostu grają na tych. Siema Mat. Na... Jak to się mówi? Kreator. Kredki. Field. A to było już takie trochę mroczne. Ale Apokaliptyka super. Oni grają na tych dużych gitarach, takie jak to się wiolonczele nazywają? Kontrabasy? Już nie wiem jak to dokładnie się nazywa ten instrument. Gdzie trzeba usiąść i ta gitara jest i tak. Ale zarąbiste. I to było na tym koncercie pierwszy raz chyba zagrali po prostu bo oni grali ogólnie na tych instrumentach. Ale oni jeszcze doszła perkusja wtedy. O kurde, jakie to było wypaśne. Na żywo to już w ogóle. O, Tiamat. Samael. Kurde. Huta 99 kojarzysz? Nie. Właśnie Huty nie kojarzę. Musiałbym usłyszeć, wiesz? Tak po tytułach to też. Huta. Ale to pewnie jakaś ściema, co? Huta 999. Huta 99 zgłoś się, tak? Oho, tu jest tej.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or are you going mad?
To jest jej rodzinka teraz.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real.
A to chyba jakieś polskie, co?
A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing.
Tylko tam słuchawki, kochani, i dalej posłucham Freda Flintstona do snu. Będę usypiał, tak.
I was afraid of that. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go?
Tam sobie paczeczki zjemy na noc.
They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
A kogo czasu? Irlandzkiego czy polskiego?
How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it.
Wolnie.
It's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
We are companions. Toys. Diversions. Sapadol fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadol's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting.
Piotr zaraz będzie ten. Na tej macie tańczącej, co nie?
What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Well, that was 4 questions, but sure.
We want to apologize on Sapadol's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapadol has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Right. The farther we get from this place, the better.
Aha, tu jest przejście jakieś. Spoko. Za mnie otwórz. O kurde. Już tam. To jest powołanie. To teraz z nimi porozmawiać chyba.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. It was, right. But it was easier than I thought it would be. Thanks to you, I think I was ready for something like this. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Yeah, quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. Until next time.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapodal's. That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. Exactly. I made it my burden. And for what? One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? Of course you trust me. I'm brilliant. But we've been together long enough that I value your opinion. You're right. I know you're right. But it's easier said than done. I am the daughter of proud animancers. Who am I to deprive the community of my wisdom and experience? As he keeps telling me. Without animancy, without my ambition, I don't even know who I am. But maybe that's a good thing. Either way, I can't wait to find out. The Living Lands is nothing if not a place of self-discovery. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
No problemu. Dobra.
Starting over is never easy, but you'll find your way. I'm happy for you.
Tędy szedłem. No tu zabiłem tych. Ty kurde, patrz. Nie zauważyłem tego. Pieczęć wzmocnienia.
This place would be peaceful if it wasn't so dangerous.
To see all was in its heyday, in its full splendor.
No. Niszczyciel. Bunga bunga. Co my tu mamy? Dystans uników, zręczność zwiększona. Tędy chyba trzeba było iść.
You asked for it. On your
Everybody alright?
This place feels familiar.
Oho, to jest jej.
Let's go inside.
Jej ścieżka. Jak to się nazywa?
This is the library from my dreams. It's... I wonder who she was. There it smells. This is just like... I've seen this place before. In my dreams. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost. Halloween's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. I do love your idea of hiding out, Envoy. Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
It's like looking into a blessed mirror.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Can we get out of here? One Yatsley is more than enough.
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Yes. There was little else I could do. I'm a scholar, not a fighter. A lesson I'm glad you learned. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. You're not helping, Envoy. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? You're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think? I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I'm so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, Yatsley. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later. The Akita love for death traps.
I need a little jerky in a nap. Let's take a moment.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
Introspection cannot be rushed. It takes time, and often silence.
Oh, for sure. You've survived this long. You'll get us where we need to go. Right. Put that sentiment away before you hurt somebody.
Well, no matter what happens, we've already survived more of the living lands than anyone else.
We've already gone farther than Nandru ever did. Whew. I can't wait to see what my statue looks like.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. You saved my city and gave me a home. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those spoilers. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living land's suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
Oh, that doesn't mean it's Giada's scary story time, does it?
I thought my stories were insightful.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Sleep well. Tomorrow we finish this together.
Oh, Envoy. Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help. I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages. I was just thinking I needed more options. How did you know? I think... for the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think? You're right. The Akira have been with me my whole life, in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilici.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sapadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
Let's go. Dobra. No to spadamy. Spadowywujemy.
Hey, Chyba. How are you?
Hmm. Hmm.
Is this where your god friend sleeps? I assume we'll have to break this barrier somehow.
Safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sapadal's prison? Now, we just have to get past it.
We got them all.
Spoko, Steven. Jestem ciekaw, to moja tak się śmiała, co nie?
Here's hoping we can avoid that madness down there.
Here we go.
We've got company!
No nie trafił. Niezła kolekcja.
Gates down. Here we go.
O. O kurde.
Come at last, after so long. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. The fist of Empire. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. The prey flees, hides. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now, we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there.
Mięsko, no.
Breathe. Focus. Shape the essence with your hands. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We want nothing more than that. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow. We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you offered your hand. You taught us mercy. Always mercy. We saw how you would fight for those who could not. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity. Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear? Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long. Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow. Tend, flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
15,5 tysiąca. Umiejętność boskiej furia spadała. Wolna moc spadała, która unosi wszystkich pobliskich wrogów w powietrze i uderzenie nimi w ziemię, zadając im wysokie obrażenia. był koniec?
Andra's depths. Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far. What happened to the living land started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Ah, are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly.
Chyba koniec. Tylko nie wiem jak.
Growth in size. I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks. Welcome to the Living Lands.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. Feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
If he didn't start this himself.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Hill and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa.
They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Snow?
Easy. You're here
Should I even try to speak with her?
Where did they come from?
We meet again, Envoy. And you, Yardsley. You're always a prodigious and welcome sight.
Oh, yes. Always a pleasure to see you, too.
Paradise burns. Thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
Zabiłem Ludwin na górze. Dobra.
She must have come back to life. Again. I suppose we couldn't be lucky enough for her to stay dead.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions. Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice. Wise answer, that. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
Mam nadzieję, że spotkamy się ponownie w bardziej trwającego projektu. Odrobinie szczęścia skończy się tym.
Mortal comforts are so very adorable. All you desire are your base needs lavishly fulfilled. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Super.
Ripple across the living lands.
Chyba, where have you been?
Where haven't I been?
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. Thank you again for your help back in the archives. Paradise burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the living lands stand ready to defend their home. Yes, what happens in Paradise now will decide the fate of the Parkrunen after all.
What's the plan if Paradise falls?
We will find a way to persevere. We Parkrunen have a gift for surviving inhospitable conditions.
Ciekawe, co to za boss będzie.
Whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. Only if that is all you've ever known. We can agree to disagree, I suppose. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, Envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons.
The Envoy. Is that you? Envoy, how did you... I don't know. Where did you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere. Once word about Paradise reached us, we were allowed to go. But listen to me rambling. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can, be good to the living lands. I'd just like for us to live lives that are free, for us, not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that.
Sceny jak tańczy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there?
O, trzyma się programista. Nie wiem, ile jeszcze zostało, ale chyba gdzieś tak z pół godziny może? Nie wiem. Ile tam, Steven? To już końcówka chyba, co nie? Ale dobranoc, jak coś, programista.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Ogólnie pączki zjedzone. Spotkałem Boga żyjących ziem i uwolniłem go.
Zapraszam was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over.
Aha.
Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it
U nas obchodzą, ale Polacy co nie? Gdy go uwiedziła Sapadala w rodzie, wypuściłem go.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Altruism is fertile ground for folly, I've found.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nanru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise.
Dobra, dawaj.
Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
Bez tego gadania muszę jej pomóc. Musimy ją powstrzymać. Mamy stać i patrzeć? Musimy ją powstrzymać.
I couldn't agree more. Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
Dlaczego ty i ja zbierzemy udział w podejmowaniu tej decyzji, Hillegraf? Wiem, czego ja bym chciał.
Well, don't leave me in suspense. Oh, gods have mercy.
Sorlus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting
Nie wiem, co ty wybrałeś.
is easy.
To było najbardziej
Everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
taka normalna, co nie?
They made the right decision for once.
Jak ty raz poparłeś tą Ludwigę, to powinieneś za nią iść. Czemu nie rezygnowałeś?
That leaves the matter of Ludwine.
Zdradziłeś ją.
She will never surrender, envoy.
Ludwin.
Must kill her, or we will lose Paradise, and eventually the island. So long as her passion for Wodika lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That'll be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible.
Aha.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
Let's get to work.
Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Show them a fight, Envoy.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the Living Lands takes care of its own.
So we're going after the Steel Garrote now, right? Let's do it.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
Koniec? Oh. Cannon fodder. Open the door.
Here they come.
If you insist, let me out.
Konspiracja tam. Co to, tak nie mogę trafić?
I'll teach you. Nice job, everyone.
O, temu pomogłem, patrz, ten też jest po naszej stronie.
This shall be a bloody day.
It shall be a bloody day. Temu ogrowi pomogłeś, czy go po prostu wziąłeś ten? Mhm. Ale tak jak się śmieje, co?
Foolishness.
Mhm. No to widziałem, to znaczy widziałem jak ten. Nie patrzyłem dokładnie co tam robisz, ale to tak bez dźwięku sobie puściłem, żeby zobaczyć ile mi zostało.
Someone's eager to meet us.
Chociaż coś dzieje, co nie?
Don't worry about the eastern gate. I'll protect your back. We make a good squad.
The envoy. Of course you'd be the last face I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see you here.
Jak to ja?
I have. As an endearing soldier.
A, nawet nie zauważyłem.
I die here at the dawn of our war against the living lands. But never mind that. That isn't what's important right now. You've declared yourself for the enemy. You've turned your back on Adir, on the Emperor. Again. I don't understand. Why, envoy? What right do the others have to be here? Because they landed some number of years before us? Does that mean they deserve it? You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
Mówisz, że mamy punkt? Postać. Dawaj w siłę jeszcze. Umiejętność to ja naprawdę nie wiem, w co dawać. O. Unik właśnie. Jeszcze mam? Kurde. Jak mi się... No jasne, że monster będzie. No, who is next? Kurde.
I heard stop right there.
You asked for it.
Your days are numbered.
Ty, nie mogłem go. No, czemu patrz? 2000. Nice. Gotika remake? Tak. O, tu jest ta wyrocznia chyba, tak? Wracam dla ciebie.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow. Viana believes in me. I can't afford to let her down.
What exactly do you think you're doing? You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the steel garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? That's the worst excuse I've ever heard, and believe me, I've heard it all. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Jak znajdę więcej czasu między grami, to wiesz, to myślę, że ten.
It's good to see you fighting on the right side of history. Out of
Że
curiosity,
zagram, zobaczę.
you against the steel garrote. It's high time we explain that to a few people. You know the steel garrote a lot better than we do. Their coordination is damn impressive. Any advice?
Spoko.
Not a bad idea. When the fighting starts, some soldiers forget how to think on their feet. Ready to make history whenever you are.
Good. We'll need them when the time comes.
Coś czuję, że tutaj rozmawiając z nimi, to zbieram tak jakby taką wesołą kompanię. And stay down.
For the living land.
What the hell?
Monica demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Get ready. Skeleton lady's up ahead. This is it, Envoy. The only part that matters.
Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie.
There you are.
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist.
Right. If she starts lopping off hands, I'm just going to attack her. Sound good?
As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
There goes the element of surprise.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down.
Well, that's the nicest thing she's ever said. Hey, maybe she's friendly after all.
Farewell, Envoy.
Famous last words.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of flame!
We are every seed. The soil. We will always grow.
Let's take her down.
Come on, let's kill her one last time.
Wolica, queen among queens, send me your aid.
Right, skeleton Orba. Thing for help.
Grow up and
O ty. but. Tym razem chyba forever.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together. Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradise return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the united settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. For the people of Shatterskull, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest
Czy rano, no nie wiem. Właśnie się zastanawiam, czy wziąć na PlayStation, czy na ten.
She develops a taste for Valiant sweets.
A nie wiesz, czy tam będzie crossplay? Czy wiesz, czy będzie można grać na tym i na tym? Z innymi? Czy to będzie bardziej tylko...
He visits the distant shores Tama told him about.
PC, no nie, PC, PlayStation.
Ancient wonders and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with greed, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty
the world has to offer him. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada turns away from animancy, charting a new
Aha.
course in life.
Nie wiem właśnie, czy to będzie też na Steam Decku.
She has no
Bo
responsibility.
jakby było, to właśnie bym już wiedział, że to na stówę biorę na PC.
Sailing, sewing, love. She tries everything, masters nothing, and finds the inner peace that eluded her as an animancer. She still carries the phantasmal focus, but it doesn't feel as heavy as before. In a past life, Yatsley was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can,
No, chyba ta.
improve the lives of kith.
A to nie wiem, czy będzie, bo na PlayStation Pro chyba ma tam 60 klatek też.
Grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly.
Jestem ciekawa, czyli ty bierzesz
Sapadal has
na
questioned
konsolę.
what happens tomorrow.
Ja sobie wezmę na PC.
Best to keep them calm until the voice in your head is
Ciekawe, czy już można instalować. A Bigos na konsolę, czy na PlayStation, na PC?
The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Avowed. Yeah. To można przyspieszyć. Czyli teraz. I tak oto szybko widzimy tutaj, tak, Józek, Grzegorz, no. Wcześniej tego nie było, czy w grach, tak żeby można było tak przyspieszać. I tym oto sposobem dziękujemy. No, Skyrima też. I nie wiem czasem, czy Skyrima nie wziąć na VR-ze. Tylko to trochę będzie masakra, bo to jest bardzo długa gra, a Skyrim na VR-ze to oczy po prostu odpadną. Na pewno jest fajne uczucie, jak się samemu jest w tym VR-ze, ale tak dla osób, które będą... Ale to nie wiem, czy to będzie w ogóle oglądane. No i też muszę mieć miejsce w pokoju, wiesz? Bo to lepiej by było się obracać w kółko. No cóż, to ja to zakończyłem. Fajnie. A spoko. Na raz, można powiedzieć. Ciekawe, jak kontynuuję wezmę. Co to będzie? Gdzie to będę ten? Ale na szczęście gra zakończona. Aha, to jest przed tą walką z tym. Okej. Okej. Jego jest. Weaponek. Ja bo już chciałem skończyć. Ty eksplorowałeś? A to czasu za bardzo nie mam. Dla mnie to było stratą czasu. Ale dobra, to co? Dzięki wielkie. Jak coś, to widzimy się jutro. Myślę na tym. Na Monster Hunter. Może z rana, może wieczorem. Zobaczę, czy to mogę ściągnąć już na przykład, jeżeli będzie na PC. No. Tymczasem dzięki Steven za dotrzymanie towarzystwa i reszta osób, która tam jeszcze, wiem, że to chyba Korpus, to są dwie osoby. No. Dobranoc jak coś. Jeszcze raz dzięki. Tytuł zaliczony, można iść dalej. Trzymajcie się, hej.
Sharp as steel, Fredmore stood with courage, fire in his eyes. Millard's by his side, their hearts aflame for war. Valhalla's calling, hear the thunder's roars. Through the mist and shadows, enemies that fell. Blades clanged in the night, warriors knew so well. Fredmore led the charge with fierce unwavering might. In the halls of Valhalla, echoing their fight. Of anger burning, darkness lying ahead, with Millards beside him, evil met its end. Battle cries so primal, hearts of stone they break. In Valhalla's glory, history we make. Starlit sky above us, watchful of our deeds. Ancestors whisper, guiding us in need. Blood and honor bind us as we take our stand. Fredmore and Millords, defenders of this land. Through the mist and shadows, enemies that fell. Blades clanged in the night, warriors knew so well. Fredmore led the charge with fierce unwavering might. In the halls of Valhalla, echoing their fight. Fredmore's valor, carved in ancient stone. Millards too remembered, never to die alone. Viking hearts forever, in Valhalla's embrace. Eternal battles fought, usurping evil's place. Shadows, enemies that fell. Blades clanged in the night, warriors knew so well. Fredmore led the charge with fierce unwavering might. In the halls of Valhalla, echoing their fight. Tales of Fredmore's valor, carved in ancient stone. Millards too remembered, never to die alone. Viking hearts forever, in Valhalla's embrace. Eternal battles fought, usurping evil's place.